Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our regular council meeting of October the 11th, 2022. Call the meeting to order. And can we get the approval of the agenda for October the 11th, 2022 regular council meeting? Moved by Councillor Doyle, seconded by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion pass. And can we get the adoptions of the minutes of the regular meeting of September 27th, 2022?
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor Doyle. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. Business arising from the minutes. Have a look through there.
Wasn't there an addition to the, didn't you send an email about an addition?
Yes, but I never got any, didn't get a response from urban land use planning. Oops, sorry, I didn't receive a response from land use planning, so I have to wait to hear from them.
Okay, we move on to number 5, proclamation, presentations and delegations. We have one proclamation, Smiles for Miles Foundation. Smiles for Miles Foundation. Whereas children are the foundation for a prosperous and an innovative society, and the foundation for a child's growth and development is established when the community takes responsibility for creating healthy environments where our children can thrive. Whereas all children deserve to have a safe, stable, nurturing home and community to foster their healthy growth and development. Whereas child abuse and neglect is an important social concern that may affect the long-term health and well-being of not only children, but also the adults they become. Whereas child abuse and neglect impacts our entire society and our society's future. Whereas child abuse prevention is a shared responsibility, and finding solutions require the involvement and collaboration of citizens, organizations, and government entities. Whereas this month we emphasize the importance of understanding the devastating problems of child abuse and neglect, and commit to learn more about the behavioral and physical signs of possible abuse. Therefore, I, Mayor Frank Butt, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2022 to be Child Abuse Prevention Month in the town of Carbonear, and urge all citizens to work together to help reduce child abuse and neglect significantly in years to come.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, second by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded, motion passed. Number 6, permits and correspondence. Councillor Doyle.
If everybody wants to take a look at slide number 4 in their draft box, I don't see any conflicts there, but if anybody, oh, you do, sir?
10085, the nail spa waxing and eyelash business.
Mm-hmm.
I think that may be a person who stayed at my house for a couple of years, so I'll leave, I guess.
Peter, your mic.
Are they, there's no relationship, is there? I don't know if there was or not. I don't know who it is.
I think of her as a daughter, so I think it's best that I do.
Well,
You can't do it.
before you do that now, make sure, can we get some clarification to CAO?
Well, I can double check that the language in the new code of conduct legislation is different than what it was before. It does specify that if the councillor feels that they may have a bias in, making a decision on something like this, that, they can, before a conflict, believe that's the way forward.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Also, Mr. Mayor, I'm a member of the Legion. I'm not on the board of directors or anything like that, but I am a member of the Legion, the Royal Canadian Legion. I don't know if that would.
I thought we already did that one last month.
That
Yeah.
was
So
discussed.
is-
This is just to issue the permit.
Yeah. would I be in conflict is what I'm asking?
No, I think we determined that both I and you would not be in conflict. We're not shareholders or,
You asked a question.
Okay.
yeah.
You're not on the executive or anything,
No.
you're just a member, and that, you know.
I'm just
that's-
an ordinary
I
member.
think you're fine, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's the same permit we discussed in the last meeting,
Yeah.
and you and Mayor Butt actually both asked the question at the time,
But it's
and
here
council
again now, right?
made a motion
Yeah.
that you were not considered in conflict on that permit.
Okay.
So right now, it's just there on the permit listing.
Okay.
Before, it was a separate motion for it because it came forth from the development committee.
Okay.
So now it's just there because it's been issued and it's included on the list of permits there now.
Okay, thank
So
you.
if you weren't in conflict on it the last meeting, you're not now.
Okay. So Councillor
already
Snow.
ruled on
just,
it.
Leave us.
You gotta be, I tell you,
Yep. Yep.
Okay, sorry about that.
okay. I'll-
But do you want us to continue on with the ones that are okay? CAO?
Which is the reason why, Councillor O'Grady, remember the last time we said vote on an issue? Because I said the legislation had changed,
Yeah,
and you gotta be oh so careful now.
oh, absolutely, yeah, you're right.
And I mean, these are all on permits that meet all the criteria in order to build or whatever in the town. So like, I personally don't feel that you're in conflict on this, Councillor Snow, because, you know, it's opening of a small business and she meets all the criteria.
But,
Go ahead, Councillor Snow.
So I'll ask the question if council thinks that I'm in conflict of interest.
I didn't hear what your reasoning was there, actually.
Well, hold on now. The town
sorry.
CAO is going to dig up some information there for us.
Legislation and just read that section where it specifies, because where this is new legislation, we should be aware of what it says before we, you know,
Sure.
make a decision.
and also into that, Mrs. Town Administrator, just, if you could check it, is there not something in legislation that states that even though council would deem you not in conflict, if it was proven otherwise, that what council decided may not apply?
I guess
In the Municipalities Act, the under conflict, before it basically indicated when council made a decision on whether they
Right.
felt if a councillor asked a question
Yep.
and council deemed that you weren't in conflict, it indicated that decision was final.
Great.
That language is no longer in the new code of conduct, and it can be appealed and then it be reviewed. So just,
If somebody actually appealed it, they could overturn what council had said, and which would put you directly in conflict.
let me see.
It makes it pretty,
Yeah,
very
um,
simple.
Probably better act to be safe than sorry.
It makes it very difficult.
Yeah, the section I'm referencing,
Go ahead there.
okay, it says a municipal official has a conflict of interest where in the making or involvement in the making of a decision, the municipal official's private interests are affected, or the municipal official is unable to act impartially on behalf of the municipality due to the municipal official's personal relationships. So I guess it's only the municipal official that really can make that decision. So if the official feels that, again, they cannot act impartially because of their relationship, a personal relationship, it would be deemed, that's the language that's here. So I guess, again, the official themselves are the only ones that could
So
make
if
that
we asked
decision.
Councillor Snow the question, can we ask you the question instead of you asking us? And if you can,
No, I'm
No.
just stating, this is what the legislation says. It says a municipal official has a conflict. It lists different things, but one of the things it lists is the municipal official is unable to act impartially on behalf of the municipality due to the municipal official's personal relationships. So it has to be that official that would have to determine whether they feel that the relationship they have with someone affects whether they can be impartial in making a particular decision on behalf of council. But I mean, I can say that for myself, but I can't determine that for another councillor or another a municipal official. It's only that official themselves can determine whether they, it may affect their decision.
Clear as mud.
Still kind of
I,
open-ended.
I think I can be impartial.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make council aware of the fact that I know this person and they've stayed in my residence for a couple of years, so that's why I asked the question of council. But I think I asked it at another previous meeting and was found not to be in conflict.
And again, the language is still there that allows a councillor to ask the question and for council to decide if they, they feel that councillor is in conflict or not.
Okay, so
That
the
was at
question
a
has been
committee
asked.
meeting, and we felt at the committee meeting that you weren't, they met the criteria regardless if you agreed with it or not, you know what I mean? So it was.
So we need a motion to,
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
same as
well-
before. Yeah.
if someone, so he's asking the question
I'll
to,
move, Mr. Mayor, that I don't find Councillor Snow to be in conflict.
can we get a seconder for that?
I'll
Second by
second it.
Councillor Doyle. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion passed.
Make a motion to approve permit listing 10074 to 10087.
And can we get a seconder for that? Seconded by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion passed. And we move on to 6.2, correspondence requiring council's decision. I
Yes,
believe
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to bring two motions forward. I'll do them individually, I think.
Sure.
Harborside Transportation Consultants, Repel Drive Phase 2, approval to award tender to Concord Paving Limited in the amount of $646,927.90, HST included, and I so do move.
And can we get a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded, motion passed.
On that next one. So the Adelaide Street Phase 2 starts Crossroads and comes out, yeah, so.
How far do it come out, Councillor O'Grady?
It's about 300 meters or, more than 300 meters, I believe. The idea is bring it to the end of the project.
Okay, so where's the end of the,
Past Irishtown. Yeah,
Past
so,
Irishtown?
yeah, so I'm in a conflict there.
Okay.
My mother and brother lives there.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a sister living there too, across from Stanford.
Where's Stanford's?
Road straight across Paul Finn.
Yeah, that's phase 1. Phase 2, phase 1 goes to the end, goes to Crossroads, and the next phase goes from Crossroads out. So I believe they may be in phase 1.
Yeah,
Is that
they're west
correct?
of Crossroads.
No, there's a portion of it that's in phase 1 because that catch basin is a little bit past Crossroads, a little east of Crossroads. So that much is in phase 1 to upgrade that storm sewer, but the road itself is phase 2, coming from Crossroads onwards.
Okay, so what you're saying is that there's a section of property down around the end of Stanford's Lane that will be in phase 2 as well?
Yes, yeah, if
Okay.
it's east of Crossroads, yeah.
Well, according to that, Ms. Town Administrator, we haven't got enough blood trouble.
No.
So you'd have to
Wait.
wait till the next,
Is that just
Because
that's
Councillor Seymour
Stanford's
would be in
Lane?
conflict
'Cause
as
I
well if
believe
he was here,
he's
right?
west
Yeah,
of
because he's
Stanford.
outside that. His mother-in-law.
So you're in a conflict as well? Okay, so
Yeah, so we don't have a quorum after that.
we won't have a quorum.
I'm sure we're not going to get there one.
We will when Councillor Noel gets in, gets
so you
back.
know where one he's talking about, yeah.
Councillor Nolan, conflict?
I don't think.
Yeah, he knows the property.
No, I don't think Councillor Noel was in a,
Ian said he
conflict
knows
there
the
anywhere.
property
I don't-
and this will be impacted.
no.
how,
Well, there's another house before.
so, Mrs. Town Administrator, how would this work, now this air's gonna get put behind?
Well, like right now, you can't, if there's conflicts, you can't vote on it, so it would have to be deferred until the next meeting, or, until, there's somebody else present here to make, at least 4. It's possible that you could call a special meeting.
I think,
By
Also,
Zoom.
we could just
By
do
Zoom.
that through Zoom, as soon as, we have, enough available
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
that motion.
Well, we can't do it today, so.
It's to accept.
no, okay, no, Mr. Mayor, I was concerned about, getting stuff
I know.
delayed.
Uh,
and,
No, the director just indicated this is just to accept it right now, and this won't really delay anything. We can still move forward. This is just a motion to accept the funding that you can still proceed to do that.
I think there's a 60-day window that we have to accept it within. So as long as we meet that, then, because we're going to do phase 1 and bring that far along before we really get into the meat of phase 2.
Right. So this won't be done before the winter, obviously. So that's not going to slow anything down. So you'll be fine.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, that's,
Town clerk?
We will have to call that special meeting sooner than later because the time frame is running out.
Okay. Well, we'll work all that out after. You guys can work that
okay,
out.
Mr. Brown.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, that's it for me.
Okay. Let's move on to 6.3, correspondence received and action taken. Okay, let's move on to number 7, committee reports, Public Works, Waste Management, and Community Services. Deputy Mayor Slade.
1 second, Mr. Mayor. Anyway, you can peruse through the meeting that we had. Anybody with any concerns or questions that they'd like to ask the committee or town administrator or whoever, feel free to do so. There's one item coming from Public Works, whereas the HVAC system in the council office has outlived its useful life, and whereas the system is obsolete and the parts are difficult to procure, be it resolved to order a new HVAC system from Ainsworth to supply and install for $19,152 plus HST, and I so do move.
And can we get a seconder for that? Second by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion?
I noticed there it said an air-cooled system with 3 options and mentions water cool.
Yep.
So is it water cool that
I'll let you, the director of operations speak to that. He was the one who had the conversation with the contractor.
This is an air-cooled system. I'll double-check the wording on that, but they had come forward earlier on with a water-cooled, and we went back and deliberately asked for the air-cooled, so I'll double-check that, but it is supposed to be an air.
just typo?
Yep, very likely, yeah. But we were clear, and we had some back and forth, and we got clarification that it is a air-cooled system.
So is this company the company that's doing our service reports now, or?
Yes, I think I discussed it a little bit in the previous council meeting. We asked the regular service contractor to get prices on the unit itself, and we went with the better unit out of those 3 prices. In an effort to kind of give everyone a chance to provide materials, provide the unit itself. But our regular service contractor is doing the installation for us.
Okay, so you had 3 prices.
Yeah, for the unit, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Any further discussion? All in favor? Contrary-minded, motion passed.
And that's it for me, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, I have a question. Those properties on Water Street that were burnt out, where is that on your department? I'm not sure if it
Yes,
is.
Mr. Mayor.
Just want to get a status update, that's all.
Well, I know a couple of months ago that we had a meeting regards to Public Works, and at that point in time, we felt strong enough about it that we actually put out a demolition order on it, correct, Mrs. Town Administrator? And anyway, Mr. Mayor, from there, I don't know where's to right now. I don't know if staff or anybody had any contact with those people.
Our enforcement officer has been in conversation with the owner, so I have to double check him on the most recent status. I believe they're in contact with
Mr. Town Administrators,
like the orders are delivered. But
Okay.
with respect to, I guess, demolition status, I can't wait on it this time.
okay. Can we have it, can we have that item placed on the agenda for Public Works tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, well, that'll be there, I believe, in business or laws anyway.
Okay.
So what is the process after we issue the demolition order? Is there like a time frame or for them to complete the job, or is it open-ended?
I guess that, I guess up to council, but I guess that's something that would have to be discussed further in committee, because
Okay.
obviously, you know, there's significant costs associated with the removal of those buildings, so, have to review, I guess, what other options you need to look at if the property owner, you know, I can't say at this point that the property owner is not going to proceed with the demolition.
Okay. It'll be on tomorrow.
it'll be on
Okay,
the agenda
no
for
problem. Any further questions or anything for Deputy Mayor Slade? Thank you, sir. Let's move on to 7B, Economic Development, Planning and Land Use Development. Councillor Doyle.
If everybody could take a look at slide number 6 in their Dropbox. The town recently held a business luncheon networking session. The town put a lot of effort into the business luncheon, and the space looked great, but it wasn't greatly attended. So we discussed ways that we could engage the business community in our town to become more engaged in the economic development process. So our EDTO is going to have some discussion with other municipalities on strategies that they're using to attract businesses to attend events. We want as many people to come out to these events as possible. It's meant to be networking for the businesses in our town, not necessarily for the municipality. We want, conversations going on to create other business opportunities. The RFP for the municipal plan has been awarded, and there is a kickoff meeting going to be scheduled very soon. If it hasn't already been scheduled, it's already been held. Perfect. The War Memorial design, council was supposed to meet to discuss it, and they haven't met yet. So council still has to review the drawing of the War Memorial.
Is the diagram going to be sent out to us? I thought it was going to get sent
It was
out.
supposed to be discussed in a Monday meeting. That didn't happen. So I don't know.
Possibly take a few minutes before you leave to go home after this one, just to take a quick view of it so we can
Sure.
move forward. Yeah.
There was some drawings received on a development that was deferred for further review. We had a number of development applications and a couple of motions coming out of that. And there was a number of ongoing matters with respect to some extensions, some developments, some new properties, etc. So some of that is held up waiting for further information. People needing to problem solve ways to make sure these things go ahead, but not necessarily where they might have been originally planned, etc. And resolve to approve the following applications in accordance with applications submitted, the Carbonear Municipal Plan and Development Regulations and other conditions as specified. To install a new septic system at 5288659 90 MN dash 32474559 ME Long Island Pond Line Road, conditional upon approval from the Department of Digital Government and Service NL and the Department of Environment and Climate Change Water Resources Division. and to construct a 2-story accessory building at 11 Southwell Place, conditional upon no objections or representations being received from the discretionary use advertisement, and further conditional upon the application being referred back to committee and council for further review if objections are received in response to the discretionary notice.
And can we get a second for that? Second by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion passed. Is that your report? Any questions for Councillor Doyle?
Just one, I'm more curious than anything. I take note that the land over there up above Dairy Queen is getting graded off, and looks like there's something gonna go there. Somebody's after asking me, and I can't answer it.
I think there's a lot of rumors going around, but I don't think it's our place to say what's going there. That announcement would come from the developers and the people who are putting those structures there. And I would imagine they're probably not in a place, according to their planning, that they're ready to make an announcement yet. But I agree, there's much anticipation and all kinds of rumors going around. I don't think there's any point in speculating at this point. I just think it's really great that there appears to be definitely one building, and it looks like there's some further development of some kind of offshoots of roads and stuff over there. In addition to that, this is, I guess, announced just because they've got signs over on the road. You've got Starbucks opening within the rest of this month, and I think, it's a sign of all good things to come. And hopefully now that COVID is it's our new normal, I think, I really hope that this is a sign of good things to come. I mean, if you look at the development stuff, we have 7 new housing starts in Carbonear to date. I mean, we were down for a couple of years because of the price of housing and development slowed and everything. So hopefully on a go-forward basis, it's onward and upward.
Yes. And just to add to what Councillor Doyle mentioned, right now there is no development there was a development permit issued just for some from groundwork, but there's no development application at this point for the new development there. So there's nothing, I guess, that can be shared at this point.
I didn't know what to say because I'm not aware of.
No.
anything.
You're not missing out there, Deputy Mayor.
No, I
Councillor-
spoke to the developer myself, and he said that, the people that are constructing the building, they asked them to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and they've asked them not to release the name of the business until they're ready to do it themselves, so they want to make an announcement. So up to that point, the owners of the property here in town, they've been asked not to say what it is, so he wouldn't tell me either.
Well, I mean, you have to understand their wishes.
There's been lots of speculation, as everyone said, but I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Okay,
Perfect.
Thank you, Councillor O'Grady.
Okay, thank you for your report. Let's move on to 7C, Administration and Finance. Councillor O'Grady.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The minutes are in number 7 in your drop box. Just a few things I'll bring to your attention. I do have some motions there as well. As you see in the correspondence here, the Eastern Regional Service Board has released their new fee structure for 2023. So for April 1st, the landfill bound materials are going to cost $89 per ton, and the recyclables are going to cost $27 per ton. So that's an increase of $5 a ton for each of those, and that'll be reflected in next year's budget. But just, I guess, to remind people, you can see from, it's $84 a ton for the garbage and $22 per ton for recycling. So for everyone that can take the recycling, put it, out of your garbage and put it in your, the town saves money for every ton. So just to encourage people to keep recycling. The Municipal Assessment Agency have also released their 2023 assessment fee. Their fee for assessment services is unchanged at $26 per parcel, and the annual assessment fee will be $70,798. So I think the total increase is only $156 for the entire year, so it's pretty much a wash as well. So for new business, there was a quote to repair the eaves on the fire hall. And I think a motion is required for that. So resolve to approve Mustang Holdings Limited to complete repairs to the eaves at the fire hall at a cost of $4,995 plus HST.
Can we get a seconder for that? Second by Councillor Doyle. Discussion. I'm going to have to ask now the question as well. Am I in conflict on this one? As being a member of the Carbonear Fire Department?
I thought the town clerk asked that question some time ago. Did you not, Mrs. Town Clerk?
And it would apply to you too, I guess, Deputy Mayor Slade, as being an honorary member.
It may very well.
And does anybody know who Mustang Holdings is? Because I don't think I know not anybody below me, but
I don't
it
know.
could be belonging to other people here. I don't know who they are.
Yes, I do, but
Turn on your mic.
We don't want to give out any names.
So I guess, so neither one of you have an executive position, right, with the fire department, or?
No.
I don't.
No,
No.
yeah,
I don't. I'm just honorary member.
no, yeah.
Not just Deputy Mayor. You're an honorary member.
Yes.
I don't consider you know me.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
This is not about fire department honorariums
No.
or anything like this. This is about standard building maintenance.
yeah, maintain, yeah.
That could end up costing the town a lot more money if it's not addressed, soon. So this is, I don't think so either.
No, we're good.
Okay, so
and with respect to the other question, I can go and put it on a piece of paper and
I know who it is, but I can't say who it is.
everybody not know who it is.
I don't know.
I think the more important thing is that is it a relation of anybody here? If it's not, it doesn't
Not
matter.
me, yeah. I think I know who it is, but I'm not. It's very
I don't even. I haven't got to.
That's the one of the, I guess, directors. You know. Okay.
I'll let the camera. Oh, I'm good.
Any further discussion? Oh, go ahead, Town Clerk.
So you guys asked if you were in conflict, so will we get a motion to that effect?
You won't have enough there to make a motion. You only going to have 3,
There's only 3 of us here.
unless you
Make a
do.
motion, right? If the 2 of them
separate the
can't
2.
be involved, right?
Yeah, you can separate the two.
Separate the two.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, can you? Okay.
I'll make the motion that Deputy Mayor Slade is in any conflict of interest with regards to the fixing of the eaves of the fire hall.
And again, we get a seconder for that one. Second by Councillor O'Grady. Discussion. All in favour? Councillor Minor,
Aye.
motion passed.
And I'll
You
make
have
the
to move
motion that,
Have to ask Deputy Mayor.
oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'll make the motion that Mayor Budd is not in conflict with the motion on the fire hall.
Okay. Motion is made by Councillor O'Grady, second by Councillor Snow. Question? All those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried.
Any further discussion on the original motion? All in favour? Councillor Minor, motion passed.
Okay, there was also a motion to purchase an additional 8 snowflake lights that go on our new light poles for on Water Street. So resolved to purchase 8 snowflake decorative lights for the street lights on Water Street for a total of $7,960 plus HST and shipping.
Can we get a seconder for that?
Second.
Discussion? Am I in conflict on that?
Just, I don't think so.
No, actually, I think these lights were in, we've already got them on the phase 1. I think these were intended for phase 2, which hasn't started yet, but
Okay,
I'm
phase
pretty
2.
sure that's the reason for them, yeah. I don't think it says that there, but that's my understanding.
I thought it was for the second phase, I don't know.
It's, Mr. Mayor, it's not a
It's not for
question
phase
on
one.
the purchasing of the snowflakes. I just got one question, if I may. Some time ago, the pole was knocked down there. And-
Okay, well, before we go there, I had to
Yeah.
ask a question on me first.
Yeah.
So that's for the second phase, you were saying?
That's my understanding. Is that your understanding of it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Deputy Mayor Slade.
No, just a quick question. I mean, because it's been some time now since it's been knocked down, that one of those lights. And is there an issue regards of getting the light replaced, or?
I think that was in one of the committee, that was in the committee,
Yeah.
That pole was delivered last week to our electrical contractor,
Yes.
and he's scheduled to install it tomorrow.
Okay, so you got it.
He has it.
Okay.
Yeah, so this, he was here on site doing other work Thursday last week, I believe it was, and he told me that he's planning to come back Wednesday this week. So it's tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Did we order more than one, Director? It's a long wait.
We had previously, I think, talked about that here, because we had also, I don't know, maybe it wasn't here, maybe it was at committee meeting, because we questioned, like, when it was gonna be delivered, and you said October, and then we questioned about whether we could move it back a bit, but you said it couldn't be moved because of the wiring underneath it, it'd be a bigger job.
Concern with having another one on hand is storage, and obviously they're expensive and damaged, just kind of sitting around, in a building. Yeah, and as you probably all aware, this is actually a damage that was done and this is being covered through the insurance for the accident that occurred. Okay, so.
Perfect. Okay.
I don't think we had a vote, did we?
No, any further discussion?
Sorry, I got job on that.
It's okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Count your mind, motion passed.
Also, the human resources policy, which has been circulated, there are few modifications made, so we're ready to bring that forward for council. Resolved to adopt the human resources policy A-16 as presented to council.
And can we get a second? Seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favor?
I'm just wondering if the mayor could be in conflict on this.
Human resource policy?
Yeah, because there's like sick leaves and all that there, and his wife works in the office. Because there's requests for paid sick leaves and all the rest of it. If there, there's monetary.
I'll ask the question. Am I in conflict? And the motion made by Deputy Mayor, by Councillor O'Grady and seconded by Councillor Snow.
Good question.
I'd have to have the two policies in front of me to see what the differences are between the old policy and the new policy, to see if there's any, financial.
I suppose any changes will be applicable to all staff.
Okay.
So,
Question has been
Well,
asked.
It's, yeah. It got to do with, is monetary, so.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is what it could be perceived as. That's
Yeah.
what I'll say to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are adding a functional assessment form, right, that could be used by any staff member. That's a new addition to it, right? So. I don't know, I mean, I can. When in
there's
doubt.
still 4 people here
Yeah.
if the mayor
So-
steps out, so.
So, what I would think about it is, it's better be safe than sorry, and I would say yes.
Yeah, I'll say yes as well.
Okay. All right. I will vacate my seat. and you can take over there, Deputy Mayor.
See, sometimes it wouldn't take very much. If somebody could pick at that there.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, go ahead, Councillor.
I'll read
O'Grady.
the motion again. Resolve to adopt the human resource policy A.16 as presented to council.
Okay, the motion's been made by Councillor O'Grady, second by Councillor Snow. Question? All those in favour?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion is carried.
Okay, I'll continue, Mr. Mayor. A couple of other things here. The fire protection with Flat Rock, so they intend to proceed with entering into an agreement with the town, so we're just waiting to hear more on that. The only other point we had is that we had mentioned before that we didn't have replacement costs with our insurance on a lot of our buildings, so the Director of Operations Public Works has reviewed and discussed with some contractors, and they've come up with a flat rate per square foot rate that we think it would cost to replace some of our buildings. It won't apply to all our buildings because some buildings like the pool and the pump houses have a lot of specialized equipment inside. So we'll use that number. I guess the only issue that we have is the heritage buildings, work stores, for example. I mean, if we go with replacement costs on that, I mean, it's a building that we really can't replace, and what's in there we can't replace. So, like, if that were to, I mean, when the previous building fell over in the storm, it wasn't replaced, as you know. So, like, I think for us to pay replacement costs on that would be wasting the money, really, because it's not a building that we could replace with all those beams and all those artifacts that are in there, and I think the other museum, the old post office, building, it's in the same situation. So we didn't feel that we should pay the increased insurance costs for those buildings. We need to, make sure we got enough there to clean up the site and dispose of it or whatever. And if we were to construct a new building, it would be, it wouldn't be replacing that one, certainly, So I'm not.
Was it an exuberant amount of money?
Sorry?
Was it like a huge amount of money to pay to have replacement on those buildings?
Well, it was like a square foot amount. I wouldn't be able to tell you building by building what it was cost. Maybe.
Yeah, and what the situation is, I mean, right now, all our buildings are insured. But as you know, I guess everybody's probably looking at the same situation that over the past, recently, plus, it's been a while since it's been reviewed, the costs have gone up significantly. So we just want to ensure that, the values that we have placed on them now, is increased accordingly. Because what they were valued at, say, 10 years ago is obviously not what it would be at this point in time. So we're just increasing those amounts.
I'm concerned about us not having a replacement value on it because, say, what if something did happen to one of our 3 museums and, I don't want it to be an empty lot. You'd like to see a museum go back there. It may not be, you know what I mean, like the historical buildings that are currently there, but, you know what I mean, there's no reason it couldn't go back as another museum, just a newer building. But I don't know how the insurance policy works, if it's a replacement value. And I don't know what they're assessed at. I would assume the museums are assessed.
There's a value in them there right now. You may be aware that back in January 1999, the East building obviously was just, was damaged by wind and had to be removed. At that time, to reconstruct that building. I mean, it's a very large building. It's, I mean, obviously council has to maintain all its buildings. And, you know, the council of today just deemed that, you know, it, from a cost perspective and other reasons, it didn't make sense to reconstruct that building. You know, I agree there, you probably would want to be a museum in the town where, you know, but would you reconstruct these properties, you know, as new structures and all, you know, all of those? And again, you know, the likelihood of all of this happening at one time is very, you know, it's not going to happen, obviously. But again, you know, you have to look at what's reasonable. When
Yeah, so we're, like I say, we don't have numbers as of this point. I mean, we would have to get insurance companies to give us numbers, you know, if we really wanted to go down that road and see, you know, if we're going to pay an increased rate for many years, you know, not to say we couldn't put another building there, obviously, we could, you know.
I just think for the longevity, you know what I mean, of the history of the town and of the area,
Yeah.
you'd want, like, you know, like, I don't know what the lifespan, say, for example, is on any of those three buildings. And I mean, we are doing regular maintenance and we are doing the upkeep, you know, so that they do last another 100 years. But, you know, like, I just wouldn't want there to be a point in time where there's no museum. I mean, hopefully it'll be long after I'm dead and gone, but you know what I mean? Like, you would hope if, you know, there'd be a backup plan in place that if something did happen to one of those buildings, then there would be a replacement, you know, go on something else, so.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, you know, just let you know what we were saying there. So I guess we'll, you know, like in the minutes it says further discussion with council will be recommended. So I think we, you know, something you might want to think about for a while. And you know, we got councillors not here, and we, you know, we may come to the point where we get quotes from the insurance just to see what the difference would be for what we have now and what the replacement value would be, and make, you know, before we can make our decision.
Okay.
And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions for Councillor O'Grady? I got one question. I'm not sure if I was under this one. I might have been a little remiss there. The work at the Carbonear pool replacing the pavement, have the wheelchair signs been put back in place on the pavement itself?
Not that I'm aware.
I had an inquiry about it and it just slipped my mind. And I don't think it comes under administration, but
No, I don't think we put it back yet.
Okay.
It is on the radar.
all right.
There's also work pending there for that stoplight, for the traffic light.
Yes.
And that concrete work is awarded for various areas throughout town. So I'm going to go in there hopefully this week with the contractor and see what we can figure out. But it is on the radar to get those cleaned
Okay.
up as soon as convenient.
Thank you.
I had a comment on the recycling and the tonnage. I think we've discussed it several times, and I don't know what committee it's supposed to go to, but I thought we had discussed doing some promotional videos of the recycling, because I get calls on a regular basis, you know, people complaining that their garbage wasn't picked up, and I'll say, well, how many garbage bags did you have? 10. Okay, well, you're only allowed to have 6. Are you recycling? No. Well, why not? You know what I mean? So, like, if we could, I don't know, if some committee could have some kind of little contest, maybe, you know, kids could do a little video about all the different things in your house that you can recycle that can go in the blue bags instead of going in your garbage, because there is no limit on the recycling bags that they take, but there is a limit on your garbage. So, you know, I think that would be, if we had a little contest and offered them, you know, some kind of little gift card for some of the wonderful takeouts in our community, that might, you know, might spark some interest in the kids at home, who might put some pressure on their parents to say, oh, that doesn't go in the garbage, that goes in the recycling.
Anyway, Mr. Town Administrator, is something that we were going to look at tomorrow in Public Works. The issue of, because right now, the recycling issue is, right now is volunteer. And we did attract a good many, at that point in time, we did attract a good many people who actually recycle. And it was something that the committee wanted to have a discussion about. And probably we say we'll bring it a step further. So it's something that will come up in Public Works.
Perfect.
Thank
No
you,
other
Mr. Mayor.
questions? There you go. Thank you. Number 8, no reports. Number 9, finances, operating invoices over $2,000. Councillor O'Reilly.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The invoice listing is in your Dropbox. So resolve to approve operating invoices over $2,000, the amount of $68,850.17.
Can we get a second for that? Second by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour? Contrary minded,
Aye.
motion passed.
And we have one capital invoice for Powell Drive. Resolve to approve Powell Drive Street Upgrading Phase 2 Harbourside Transportation Consultants in the amount of $7,693.50.
And can we get a seconder for that? Seconded by Councillor Snow. Discussion? All in favour?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion passed. Okay, move on to 10, regulation of the notice of motion and new business. Our next meeting is 25th, is it? Of October? 25th. And just I want to remind everyone that tomorrow, Wednesday, is open house at the Carbonear Volunteer Fire Department building. It's for Fire Prevention Week. You can drop down and get a hot dog and a drink if you so desire. And this week also we signed the proclamation for with Newfoundland Power for making awareness for energy consumption. And we did a little signing thing here at the council office.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Slade, seconded by Councillor Snow. All in favour? Motion passed.
Oh, boy.